From Tucson, Arizona, Cyclone.
Cyclone in at 217 pounds didn't have such a great regular season, so they definitely got something to prove today with their vertical spinning disc.
From Redondo Beach, California, Brute.
The Brute's running a rotary drum weapon at the front with a 7-inch ramming spike on the back. At 215 pounds, these guys want to take it home.
From Omaha, Nebraska, the Termite.
The Termite in at 165 pounds is running a 40-degree angle on their wheel camber, and he's got some mean-looking teeth on the front of there.
From Acton, California, Revenge.
Revenge, powered by some wheelchair motors. He's got some deadly rotating blades, and at 213 pounds, they're going to be throwing their weight around.
From Citrus Heights, California, Thor's Hammer.
Thor's Hammer, the lightest at 114 pounds. He's got a serious hammer to shake things loose. Let's see if he knows how to use it.
From East Provo, Utah, Hyperactive.
Hyperactive with a 35-pound, 29-inch diameter disc weapon, and at full speed, it gets up to 215 miles an hour.
Roboteer, stand by.
And there's the Brute team on the left, Hyperactive in the middle, Thor's Hammer on the right. And there's Revenge on the left, Cyclone in the middle, and the Termite on the right. And joining us in the corner patrol zones will be the ever-present Sir Kill-A-Lot. And alongside Sir Kill-A-Lot, Matilda with her tusks of steel.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Here we go for a no-holds-bar Robota Bash-a-thon. There's a good shot at Hyperactive. With that wheel, it just flipped Thor's Hammer right up off the arena floor. Hyperactive, 215-mile-an-hour spinning disc has just put Thor's Hammer out of commission as Cyclone comes in for cleanup. And Little Brute's getting in on the action, going in after the hammer. Oh, this poor hammer has had it. Oh, Cyclone, with that spinning disc, flips up and over the hammer, right out of the arena. Now, we know that hammer was a little light, but look at them now. They are out of commission. And as it runs an Annihilator, the first one out, the round is over. But Cyclone ties up Revenge and does some damage to that blade. Well, they better do some quick pit action.
I'm Chris. This is Bob. Patrick. We're from Team Cyclone. This is our robot Cyclone. Giant 12 horsepower motor, giant spinning disc equals mass destruction for any robot it comes in contact with.
Hi, I'm Joshua Babb, and this is my dad, John Babb, and my stepbrother, Joe Miles. And this is Hyperactive, and this blade is going to go hyper on everyone.
I'm David, this is Jason, and this is my brother Alwyn. Together we make up Team Critter. This is our bot, the Termite. It has chromoly claws and 3,000 RPM teeth. It will chew up and spit out all other bots.
Hi, I'm Mike. This is Julio. This is Ron. We're Team Vicious, and this is our robot Brute. It's a solid steel frame, all welded. We've got 1,000 RPM, 23-pound spinning drum. It's tough as anything you've ever seen, and we're going to break some bots.
This is Spectre Robotics. I'm Valak Xavier Sykes, and this is Revenge. We're going to take revenge on everybody today in the Annihilator. We're going to destroy them all.
Roboteers, stand by.
And there's Team Hyperactive on the left and Team Brute on the right. And there's the Termite team on the left, Revenge in the middle, and Cyclone on the right. And guarding those corner patrol zones in this round, Shut with that Diamond Edge axe. And in the other corner, the flame-throwing Sergeant Bash.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Just like before, as RefBot backs out, only one is going to go out, and 4 will go through to the next round. Termite straight into Hyperactive. Hyperactive trying to get that disc up to speed. And there's Cyclone and Hyperactive fighting it out, and wow! Cyclone just dismantled Hyperactive. Look at that! 2 spinning discs, but the double thickness won through. As Cyclone went in there, took the chain off of Hyperactive, and then just dismantled the axle, and now they're destroying him. Look, there's not going to be anything left of Hyperactive after this round, and Cyclone's going after some more. So if he can weaken any other bot in this round before it's over, it's all the better for him. Hyperactive has still got some motor drive, so he's not counted out. The weapons, however, are completely gone. Now Cyclone goes after Brute, flips him, but he's invertible, so he's gonna work on those wheels. Look at the piece fly off of Hyperactive. Oh, these guys, there's not gonna be much left of them as Cyclone takes him up to the rail. Hyperactive's really in trouble up against the ropes now. Cyclone definitely wouldn't have the power, I wouldn't think, to flip that 220-pound bot out of the arena, but it looks like it's possible, as Cyclone does it up and over. Hyperactive is out of there. What a beautiful bit of driving on the Cyclone team. Well, Cyclone are definitely the ones to beat in this Annihilator. They are awesome. Well, with another one out, all RefBot can do is shake its head in disbelief.
Revenge. Cyclone. The Termite. Brute. Roboteer, stand by.
And there's Team Cyclone on the left with Chris Harriman at the controls, and Brute on the right with Mike Regan at the controls. And there's Team Termite on the left with David Gilson at the controls, and Revenge with Valak Sykes. And guarding that CPZ, 616 pounds of Sir Kilowatt. And with him, the first appearance tonight, Dead Metal with that spinning blade.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So here we go. Let's see if the Termite and the Brute can stay out of trouble. They're definitely underweight compared to the rest of these guys. Cyclone is standing there firm, knowing that nobody wants to get near him, as Brute and Termite do a little tussle. Brute has got a nice little wheel on the front, but can't really get it up to speed. And Termite, we haven't seen any weaponry out of them yet at all. As we see Revenge trying to do exactly that. Revenge is looking for some revenge on Cyclone. As Cyclone flips Brute and Termite up at the same time. They've got so much power on that thing, it doesn't matter if he's on fire. If you look real close, I think Cyclone dismantled one of the wheels. Yes, he did. Right on Termite. Termite may be in some drive trouble, which could put them out in an early stage in this round. Cyclone is the one to beat. Or are they? There was a lot of smoke coming off of him, and look, he's got a fire inside. Oh, running over that flame wasn't too good for them. These guys could be in some serious trouble. Oh, that would be such a shame. These guys are an awesome bot. As Kilowatt comes in and takes out the truly immobilized Termite. He wasn't going to wait for RefBot at all. He's taking the law into his own hands. And there's the three-wheel Termite still rolling. As Cyclone goes over the CO2 jet in a fancy piece of driving to extinguish the flames internally. Although that disc isn't moving anymore as Brute hits the pit trigger. The audience knows what time it is, but does the Termite? As he's down to 3 wheels and he's getting slowly dismantled by Dead Metal, he's in major trouble. But he's still got power to those wheels. Incredible little design. Half the weight of Cyclone, who's in major trouble. Not too much driving going around in the Cyclone team. And they're looking very concerned as they try their reverse gear on Revenge. And Revenge quickly gets out to the front and just gives a little tap on Cyclone. You see that drum on the Brute spinning at full speed finally. Not a major weapon, but it's good for climbing. But it looks to me like the Brute is doing all the work here. Everybody else is being dismantled. Look at Cyclone, no spinning weapon whatsoever. Revenge is doing circles down in the arena, and it looks to me like Termite might have a little battery shortage. These guys aren't moving a bit as Brute nudges them along just to try to get him over to the pit, it looks like. It's got him in reverse with that spike coming out the rear. Will he be able to get him in the pit? It looks like it's going to be possible, but the camber of the Termite on those tires is keeping him from pushing him sideways. But not enough, and they go down.
From Acton, California, Revenge. From Tucson, Arizona, Cyclone. From Redondo Beach, California, Brute. Roboteer, stand by.
Team Brute there on the left with Mike Regan at the controls, and Revenge with Valak Sykes. And there's Chris Harriman at the controls for Cyclone. Guarding that corner patrol zone, Sergeant Bash. And with him, Dead Metal and his spinning saw.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Well, hopefully Cyclone had a good pit stop. There's a bit of wobble going on their disc, as they seem to want to go after Revenge. Revenge hasn't had too much in the weaponry department in the first 3 rounds. And it looks like Brute is backed into that pick trigger. Great bit of tactics, a little David and Goliath here, as they are going to try to put somebody else in the pit. Cyclone goes up against Revenge, flips the invertible Revenge, and puts him right into the capable hands of Bash. It's a party in the corner patrol zone. Brute, Cyclone, and Revenge are all taking it out. As Bash comes in to dish out some justice, Brute backs right out of that corner patrol zone because he knows better. And Cyclone is looking for another victim. Could it be Brute? Now, Dead Metal and Bash have Revenge on their minds and Revenge in their pincers, as Revenge is stuck in that corner patrol zone, begging for mercy. I bet you their minutes are numbered here in Robot Wars. Cyclone just sitting out there proudly knowing that Revenge has seen better days. That bot is not moving. The audience is chanting for the pit. The count is going down from RefBot. And by all rights, the house bots have to wait for it. Although, in Robot Wars, we haven't always seen that. And Cyclone and Brute are just sitting back and waiting for the inevitable as the 10-second count goes, and it's time for the house bots to do their work. And Bash goes in with the pincers. Dead Metal's in there with a saw. Are we going to see some Revenge pit action? I think maybe, but not before a nice barbecue. The audience wants the flipper. They want to see old Revenge jettison and get some nice hang time in the process. As Dead Metal drags the dead Revenge across to the flipper, backs up. Let's see if we can get some hang time out of him. Nice bit of flying. Well, if he could have landed on somebody, that would have been a much better weapon than they were using, because these guys were out of it before they even started. Nice looking invertible bot, though. But he never really recovered from that first bout with Cyclone. Took him apart as Bash backs poor Revenge into the hole. almost put himself in there. It's all over.
Cease. From Redondo Beach, California, Brute. From Tucson, Arizona, Cyclone. Roboteer, stand by.
There's Bob, Chris, and Patrick for Cyclone and the awesome Cyclone. And Julio, Mike, and Ron for the Brute. And there's the Brute. The house bots in this final will be a flame-throwing Sergeant Bash and a pushing power of Shunt.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And here we go for the Annihilator belt. Whoever survives this one will be walking away with some brass. And immediately, Brute goes head up with Cyclone and takes Cyclone from underneath. There's a drive belt laying on that arena floor that looks like it was dislodged by the Brute. The Brute has that metal roller on the front. Maybe a little bit too much metal for the Cyclone boys. It looks like Mike Regan was right about his little weapon on the Brute. That metal just tore the extra build off a Cyclone. He's still got power with that disc, but my guess is he doesn't have as much power. And there is something wobbling on Cyclone's blade now, as the little Brute is coming up with the goods in this final. We never thought they were going to do this good, but he better get out of that corner patrol zone before Bash does some flame throwing. Yeah, Cyclone's wheel has definitely been immobilized. They've got no power left on their weaponry, which means it's going to be straight down to driving. So Brute against Cyclone, and the playing field has been leveled a little better as Shunt comes down on Brute. And Brute luckily gets out of the way. Shunt with that diamond edge axe, burying it into the side of Brute. Brute better stay out of that CPZ if he knows what's good for him. And now he's backing Cyclone into the corner patrol zone. Let's see what Shunt will do to Cyclone. Cyclone getting dragged back by the tracks. And Shunt is trying to bury that axe right into the back of Cyclone. There's the Cyclone boys looking like they're in some serious trouble. And all they've got left is some strategy, and they're using it as Cyclone goes into the pit trigger. Hopefully they're going to dump the Brute in it, because that's going to be their only way out. As Bash gets Brute cornered into the corner patrol zone. Poor Brute is taking some major abuse, 100 pounds lighter than his opposition in this round, and it takes a housebot to dispose of him. So you tell me what's fair. Now, in all fairness, actually, Brute did spend a lot of time in the CPZs, so he deserves what he gets, as Refbot clears Cyclone out of the way and goes for the countdown. This could be an upset, because Brute was doing so well, Cyclone got dismantled. But you know what happens here on Robot Wars? You last too long in the round, is a good possibility your power source is going to be kaput. And that's what's happened to Brute, as the house bots come and make handy work of them. The audience is chanting for the pit as Shunt pushes Brute out into the middle of the arena. And Brute is going down to inevitable end as Cyclone goes through as the Annihilator champion. And what a great design they were. Even though they weren't working towards the end of this round, they had what it took to make it to the end. Beautiful.